Old Gay Guy. My apologies. Whoops. I don't know why it makes me do that. Um, my apologies for missing the 10 o'clock start date, but I have my laptop going, and this is all it's doing. Going live, but it's not going live. So I don't know what that's about. So what I have to do now is I'm going to have to open up YouTube. Hi, Joe. Good morning. On the laptop. And then go to my channel so I'll be able to respond to comments. Let's see. Stream chat at 10 a.m. Okay, that's the little thing I put out earlier. Let's see. Home. Live. It's not showing live. Hello, Randy Bailey. I'm trying to crank you. I'm getting cranky because this thing's not working. It's a real irritation. Good day, Baz. Good day. Ba-da-bum-bum. Let's see. Need to go back to my channel. Okay. I can see you scrolling up, but I can't respond on this screen. That's why I need to open this other thing. Okay, it says here that there are 2 people waiting to see this stream. That was at 8:43. Wow. Well, I'm not sure why it's not kicking in. My apologies, everybody. I'm not sure what's going on. 2 minutes of online time and I can't get an image, so I don't know where you guys are watching this because I'm just logged into general YouTube, maybe. So in the meantime, I'll, I don't know, I'll whistle something for you. What do you want to hear? There I am. I'm showing up. Yeah, Joe, you're looking on my phone. I'm not sure. Let me turn the volume down on this laptop. I'm not sure why it's not coming across on the laptop because the camera's on, it's recording. It says it's going live, but it's not. And I would love to do the turning it, you know, but when I do that, like this, it freezes the orientation and it's not letting me actually do that. So what if I do that? Did that work? It's locked in rotation. Oh, man. Let's do that one then. Okay, I think I just opened it up. Yep, to the back camera. We didn't want that. This is frustrating because I don't really like portrait mode. It's fine on a phone, but when you put it on the PC or on a TV, it just looks lame. Okay. Hello, Mike Hooter. Frilly Doomsday. I don't know if I like Mike better than Frilly. Frilly sounds kind of like someone who watched this channel. So I think Frilly it is. I went online today and looked for some happy news to talk about. And guess what? There isn't any. No, it was a site with dad jokes and something about, that would be my dog in the background because the mailman is coming to the front door. She'll stop here in a minute. It's not like he's delivering anything I want. It's an advertisement or something. And then the water bill. Let's talk water bill, shall we? It is, hey, Eder, long time no see. I hope the house is doing well. I see that you've been traveling all around Mexico, and that sounds like fun. Water bills. Hi. That's all I can say on that. And speaking of Mexico, I would like to ask a question. And Eder, I don't know if you've done this or not as well, since you were just there, but I'm going to have some dental work. I'm supposed to have some dental work done per the dentist, and it's going to be like $7,500 because it's crowns, multiple crowns. And I am curious if anyone out there has gone to a dentist in Mexico, and you were pleased with it or weren't pleased. I'd love to have your feedback. I have been advised by someone from Mexico that I should be going to a clinic in Mexico City or outside of Mexico City, and not to the cities that are right across the border from the US. And the reason being, I know that those are very popular with seniors who commute down and cross the border, get everything done, and come back. But I'm told that the border towns are going to be much more expensive when it comes to dental care than if you go inland, because they are priced for tourists and they know that Americans have more disposable income. But if you go down to Mexico City, you're going to be paying Mexico City prices the same that they're going to charge people who live there, and it's going to be a lot cheaper. So if any of you have actually gone down for your dental, on a little medical vacation or a dental vacation, I would love to hear your feedback on that. Just please leave a comment below, or you can email me if it's something really detailed at crankyoldgayguy@gmail.com, because it is something I am seriously considering. The person that I know who goes down there for dental treatments, well, he lives out, his family is from Puebla outside of Mexico City. So he's going down there anyway. I don't know how many times, 2 or 3 times a year or something, but he gets his dental needs taken care of at a much cheaper rate than he would pay if he was in the US. I think the current exchange rate is 20 or 21 to a dollar. So it's going to be about a quarter of what it would cost here. And if that is the case, it would be If that's the case, it would be worth my time to travel down. I did price airlines, and right now I could go for about $700 and $750, which is less than half of what 1 crown costs. So if I could get everything done for under $4,000 or even $3,000, probably more like $3,000 according to the exchange rate, then even with the additional airfare and hotel, it would still come out $2,000 or $3,000 less than what they want to charge me here. The IRS needs to pay up. And what, Flashboy Bruno, what does the IRS need to pay? I'm not sure I follow what you're talking about there. Hello, Doggo Crew. Oh, you're gonna watch with Frilly. Okay, you're watching with Mike Hooter. Mike Hooter, is that someone that I should know? Let's see, is that their real name? Let me look them up on Facebook real quick. Mike Hooter. Mike Hooter. Where are we? I'm whistling because I don't have music going in the background because I don't want any type of a copyright hit. Mike Hooter. Let's see. I'm guessing it's the Mike Hooter from Indiana. Am I correct on that one? Let's see what they look like. Mike Hooter, who is on a motorcycle. Is that the Mike Hooter that we're talking about? Wow, he looks a lot. I'm looking at the one of Mike, and he's got short hair and he's got the big beard. He looks a lot like someone I play pool with named Kevin from Boston. Wow. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if this is the same Mike. He seems kind of young, but not that young people don't follow this channel, but since he's got some pro-Trump stuff on his site, I'm guessing that he's not. I'm on the wrong page. Yeah. Okay, it looks like the room is filling up. That's cool. I like that. Eder, Eder, you said hola and then you disappeared. I'm guessing that you're at work today. And a question for you. You still run everything there, right? And if that's the case, why have you been stuck up in Vancouver? I would think that you'd have to be here in the Portland base to make sure that everything's getting done. But let me know on that one too. And for all of you out there, Eder is someone that I have known for years and years and years. And at one point, rented a room from me here at the house. G'day, g'day, g'day. Let's see, go down here. What do we want to talk about? I guess I'm just going to regale you then with these dad jokes that I found, since nothing else is really going on. Y'all, why are libraries so tall? Any theories? I'd love to hear your responses. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to go to the next question. Did you hear about the wig thief who escaped from prison? Now, the answer for this one is more like just a statement, and I'll just give it to you. Police are combing the area to find him. Get it? Wigs, combs. Yeah. I wondered why the baseball was getting closer and closer. And then it hit me. Yeah, these jokes are not going over well. This is how it feels when you do stand-up comedy and no one laughs. So where do surfers go for their education? This is an easy one. Throw it out there. Jim Whitman, you've got part of it, but not the whole thing. Hello, Giorgio. Welcome from Italy. Giorgio swam an entire ocean to be part of this live stream today. So I want to say thank you, Giorgio. Did you hear about the guy that was addicted to the hokey pokey? Any of you in recovery, you might have an answer for this one. Okay. Why doesn't it hurt if someone throws a can of Coke at your head? This one's easy too. And while we're waiting, Jim Whitman, I'm going to give this one to you. The library question is, why are libraries so tall? And it's because they have many stories. Tall stories, tall tales, it kind of all works. So the can of Coke joke. Why doesn't it hurt when someone throws a can of Coke at your head? Come on, guys. This one's easy. Think about what Coke is. And where do surfers go for an education? I'm going to give you a hint there as well. And it has something to do with what surfers use while they're surfing. Tongue, I had grapes and yogurt, and the grape skins are kind of caught, I think, in my teeth. Why did the chicken cross the playground? Excuse me. This one is just a play on words. It's a phrase that would be the regular answer, but they change a word, but it sounds similar, but it's different. Why did the chicken... Oh my God, Jim, you got it. Man, you are on top of this. That's right. The guy who was addicted to the hokey pokey, he turned himself around. And guess what? He's doing so much better these days. Why did the chicken cross the playground? To get to the other... That one's kind of easy. Does anyone have an answer to that soft drink question? Oops, I just gave it away. Why doesn't a can of Coke hurt when it hits your head? Because it's a soft drink. Why did the Energizer Bunny go to jail? Okay. No responses. I think I'm probably losing people with these jokes, aren't I? Actually, I don't think so. It's okay. What do cats eat for breakfast? Think of your morning cereals and then make them into cat cereals. What do French hedgehogs see on Groundhog Day? This one is cutesy, and you might see this in a cartoon. I mean, it would make a good this would make a good cartoon. What do you get when you cross a fish with an elephant? Giorgio. Whoa. Oh, Jim Whitman. You got it again. That's right, the energy out of your body. He was charged with battery. Ba. Giorgio, Joseph, if you marry me, I will bring you a ring and plenty of eggs. Well, I don't wear jewelry, Giorgio, but I do eat eggs, so think about that. Meows. So that's it, Baz. I think that's a good play on Muslix, but I think a lot of people, at least here in the U.S., don't know what Muslix is. But I'm going to give it to you. The cat will eat Mice Krispies. Okay, what do you get when you cross a fish with an elephant? That's one that's out there. Oh, and this is an easy one. What color is the wind? On a clear day, you can see the color of the wind. Did you hear about the wig thief who, yeah, I've already said that one, haven't I? Well, it's a list, but then there'll be big, like meme images and they'll have it spelled out, but they're not going in order. And by the way, these jokes are from the Today Show. How do fish pay for groceries? Well, here, like this. Yeah. That hurts, Baz. Don't hurt yourself. How do fish pay for groceries? I think the only fish that pay for groceries this way live in the ocean. Did you hear about the guy who's afraid of escalators? What does this guy do? The guy that's afraid of escalators. How do you find a cheetah in the dark? This too would make a very good cartoon image. Why did the boy do his homework on the plane? With this, I would say the boy is in high school. Why did the cake cross the road? This one's self-protective. What do you call a boomerang that won't come back? Joe Capriani. I'm guessing that this is for the boy who wants a higher education. I'm going to accept that answer because it's a good answer, but the answer to the boy doing homework on the plane is he wants a higher education. So higher marks, same thing. Baz, yes, being Australian, you know what a boomerang is, and you know that a boomerang that doesn't come back is just a stick. That is the answer. Joe, you got it as well. Jim Whitman, to get a slice. Nope, the cake crossed the road because it saw a fork ahead, and it was trying to avoid that. How did the dog get all A's on its report card? This one's, I guess it's easy. And we're still looking for how the fish pays for groceries. And the guy who's afraid of escalators, what does he do? Okay, that's the Jeopardy theme song. And I think Jeopardy is licensed all around the world, so that's probably something everyone on here knows. Any of these that we haven't done here. In this day and age, the fish is probably paying them with eggs. You know, Joe, that is a good answer. But the real answer that they say is with sand dollars. Let's see. Why did the chicken cross the road? We still are the playground. To get to the other slide. What do French hedgehogs see on Groundhog's Day? They see their chateaus, because chateaus are French. It's a word, yeah. When you cross a fish with an elephant, what do you get? Swimming trunks. And let's see if there's any of these last group that we didn't answer. The man who's afraid of escalators. What does he do? Homework, cake, boomerang. Oh, that's right. How did the dog get all A's on its report card? Some of you were probably this when you were in school. How do you find a cheetah in the dark? You use a spot light because cheetahs have spots. I know I have to mansplain this because they're dad jokes, and dad jokes always need mansplaining. Oh, why did the belt get arrested? You know, I think quite a few of my belts have been arrested for this exact reason. It's just criminal. How do bees go to school? How do they get there? This one's cute. Again, would make a nice cartoon. What do you call a teenager who refuses to grow up? This one is a historical term or a historical name. It's a historical name. What do horses do when it's time for bed? You know, Baz, you got it again. They take the school buzz. That's how bees get to school. Good answer. Yellow buzz, that works too. I'm guessing school buses are yellow all around the world. What do horses do when it's time for bed? Hello, Tanner McPherson, and welcome to the chat room. Baz, nope. As in, they're not yellow everywhere? Where do fingers grow? Oh, this one is... This one doesn't make too much sense to me. They're doing wordplay, and it just doesn't work for me. Tanner, yes, horses do poop. But what do they do when it's time for bed? That was the question. Thank you for the info, Baz. I'm not sure if in Australia if they even have the same kind of school buses. Maybe they're just smaller, like minivans or something. And Joe, what color are they in England? Tanner, they don't poop their pants because horses don't wear pants. Joe, they say nay. They might do that too, but the answer is that they hit the hay. Ba-dum-bum. So we're still asking, what do you call a teenager who refuses to grow up? Joe, I agree. When it comes to bees, the color is immaterial. All kinds of buses depending on where you are and how big the school. I know here in the States, even the smaller buses, they're called short buses. They're also schoolhouse yellow or school bus yellow, just like the big buses. And then we have the handicap buses, which are usually a short bus that's been modified with a ramp or a gate that comes up. And those are also usually yellow. All of them are equipped with the red octagonal How many sides does a stop sign have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just counting. Octagonal is correct. The red stop sign on the side that they pull a handle and the stop sign comes out so people don't pass the bus when they're stopped because they don't want a kid crossing in front and getting hit. Let's see. These buses. Do people do horse poop there on their babies? Tanner McPherson, not that I'm aware of. Tanner McPherson. Oh, do horses poop on their babies? I'm guessing if the baby is in the way, they probably would. I don't think they're going to watch for that. But as far as I know, people don't put horse poop on their babies. Okay, so we're still looking for the answer of why did the belt get arrested? What do you call a teenager who refuses to grow up? I want to say there was a movie with this name, the term that they're using. There was a movie with Keanu Reeves in it that had this name. And this name is also, I think, prominent in Russian history. Where do fingers grow? I'm going to give you this one because it's a stupid answer, and it's called a palm tree. Yeah, I don't get the tree part. What did one eye say to the other? This is the kind of thing that a third or fourth grader would laugh their butt off about. So while we're on here, just discussing dad jokes, is there anything pertinent anyone would like to bring up? Maybe tell me what you would like me to cover in a future video. I see you. Look at me. Okay, I'm looking at you, Jim. I'm looking right through you, Jim. I'm going to keep looking. Don't feel uncomfortable, but I'm looking right at you, Jim, and I'm only looking at you. Why am I so crossed? Crossed in which way? Johnny boy. Oh, I get it, Jim. Thanks for pointing that out. He was answering one of the questions. I'm trying to think. It's like, I know one of my eyes, I think, rolls a little bit or drifts, but I don't think that they're cross-eyed. What was the eye joke anyway? Oh, what did one eye say to the other? I get it. Between us, something smells. Oh boy. Does anyone have an answer for why did the belt get arrested? It has to do with robbery. There's a hint. And teenagers who refuse to grow up, they are Constantines. Get it? Constantine. Because he walked the bank. Tanner. I'm guessing that is the belt question, but I don't understand the answer. Walked the bank. Oh, maybe you mean he robbed it? Well, he held up a pair of pants. That's why he went to jail. Yeah. He held up a pair of pants. That was the answer. Did you hear about the queen who was only 12 inches tall? She was a great ruler. Why did the pasta go to the dermatologist? Oh boy, this one is crude. Next question. Why are shopping centers boring? This is a play on words, cutesy play on words. Did you hear about the girl who ate a frog? They say she's going to croak. Yeah, that's damn dumb. Tanner McPherson, guy poop. I don't know what that's in reference to, but you're talking a lot about poop. Bacon and eggs walk into a restaurant. The host says, "Sorry, we don't serve breakfast here." That's just a exclusionary joke. Jim, think more of schoolhouse, what you'd find in a classroom, a math classroom. Did you hear about the magician who was driving down the street? He turned into a parking lot. Ha 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 ha. Why didn't the chef season his dish? This is an herb answer. And Jim, in reference to the answer you responded to, I've met a few. So why did the pasta go to the dermatologist? Let me see if I'm losing you guys here. Looks like you're all hanging in there for these dad jokes. Woo-hoo! Except Eder. Eder dropped out. Eder, it's been a while. Okay, the pasta went to the dermatologist because it had a big ZD. Why are shopping centers so boring? If you've seen one, you've seen them all. So why didn't the chef season the dish? And again, the answer is something to do with an herb. Where do rainbows go after being arrested? This one is scientific. Yeah, I can see science in this because the answer has something to do with where you find a rainbow. Again, think about science class. There you go, Joe. Woo! Congratulations. In a prism, that's right. Oh, you are on top of things, Mr. Caprani. Caprani. Did you hear about the stolen dog collar? Yeah, probably not, but there is an answer here. What are the police doing? Think of a crime show. Have you ever heard of quiet tennis? Explain. The answer would be an explanation of what quiet tennis is. Why should you borrow money from a pessimist? Baz, that's a good answer. Jim, that's a good answer. The answer for did you hear about the stolen dog collar is that police were looking for leads, but following the lead, I give it to you. Good work. Good work. You're good investigators. Why should you borrow money from a pessimist? The answer will not be surprising. What did the duck say to the waiter when he brought the check? Joe, kind of, but not exact. The duck, this is an easy one, because what do ducks have? What did the duck say to the waiter when he brought the check? And, I really love the word plethora because it means a lot to me. Another word joke. Why did the guy get fired from the calendar factory? Because he did something that would make the product unusable. Randy, Jim, you're getting warmer. The duck said, just put it on my bill. And why did the guy get fired from the calendar factory? Again, he did something that would make the product unusable. What do you call someone who raises hens? The answer for this, hint-wise, will be something that you eat. Wow, this last list went really fast. Um, ooh. So I have noticed too in the last couple weeks, other than this video review I did of Meghan Markle, her show, which got a lot of views, but I think it has to do with the fact that it's Meghan Markle. Um, Comments have dropped way, way down, which I understand. If you don't want to comment, you don't have to comment. But I'm just trying to figure out why. So if you have answers, let me know in that as well. Oh, Joe, I like that. A chicken expert. I do like that. Um, the actual answer they want is a chicken tender because you're tending the chickens and chicken tender is something that you eat. But I like the expert part. That one's probably a better answer. Well, Baz, I get where you're coming from, but having grown up having chickens, we had chickens from the time I was born until I think the fourth grade when we moved back to town. We moved back to the Portland area. We were living in East County, which was an unincorporated, just berry fields when I was born. And then we moved to northern Idaho, which was a very small town, and everybody had chickens, which we would call city chickens now, but you weren't limited to how many you had. We had a lot. And then we moved back to the Portland area and we didn't have chickens anymore. But they're free as far as the eggs go, but there's a lot of upkeep on them. You have to feed them, you have to water them, we would let them out during the day and they would just roam free. And then you have to call them back in at night because if they're out after dark, they're going to get grabbed by weasels, fox, coyotes, etc. And then we would also have to routinely go in, and this was always the kids' job because there were six of us. You have a bucket of whitewash, which is it's kind of like plaster, but it's kind of like powder and it's kind of like paint. And you whitewash all the surfaces within the chicken coop to keep down lice because chickens are prone to getting lice and little bugs. And the whitewash kills them. Chickens will also, throughout the day, you'll see them dusting, where they will find a dry spot in the dirt or gravel, and they'll open up their wings and they will roll around and just dust their whole bodies. And I understand that as a way for them to keep cool. It's also for them, if they have any kind of bug on them, they're trying to get it off. And other chickens will also, if they see bugs on another chicken, they'll eat them off as well. But I like having chickens. I haven't had them since I've been on my own. You can only have three in Portland, and you can only have one rooster. Or excuse me, you can't have any roosters. They don't want the noise. Maximum three chickens within the city limits. That is the Portland rule in Oregon. I know people who have them. It's more of a hobby, more of a thing because it's what hipsters were doing for a while. The price of chickens and eggs, you only get one egg a day from a chicken if they're laying. Three probably, it might be enough for one person, but if you've got a family or two people living at home, 3 eggs a day probably isn't going to be enough if you cook with them or if you eat them or you bake with them. But the price of a chicken now too, a little chicken, I think the feed store was selling them for over $10 a piece, which was ridiculous. Way, way ridiculous. That's not what chickens should cost. And you can get them online. Who knows if they're going to show up alive or not, but it's not something I'm going to go through. But I did like the chickens. I had a pet chicken. I raised my brother and I. Well, one of my brothers and I. I shouldn't even say that. It was my project. I took a Kentucky Fried Chicken box and I put a light bulb in it. And that's back when Kentucky Fried Chicken buckets were actually the size of a real bucket, with a paper lid or cardboard lid, and I put a hole in it and put a light bulb in there because I found a couple abandoned eggs out in a ditch because the chickens sometimes would go out during the day and they nest elsewhere if they're in a brooding mood. They don't necessarily lay eggs in their nest. So I found these eggs. I put them in a bucket. I think it was 21 days. They hatched. I had two little chicks out of it. Um, my mother said, leave them there, let them dry out before you bring them out because you don't want them to get sick or cold. And in the meantime, I was in the laundry room off the back porch. A cat went through the window on the laundry room and knocked that bucket off of the top of the hot water heater it was sitting on and ate one of them. And the other one lived, but it ate my chicken. I had a little calico chicken, and my one of my brothers had claimed the other one already. It was a black chicken that he named George, and George lasted for a few years. And George would he could trained it so he could do this, and George would fly up and sit on his shoulder and stuff like that. And I don't know what happened to George actually. I don't know what happened to all of our chickens. I know that my mother slaughtered them several every year. We had a lot of chickens, and then they would go and slaughtered, chop the head off, dip them in boiling water, and then the kids would pluck them. And then they would end up one of my brothers would singe them over a fire to get all the little hairs that you don't or the little feathers you can pull out. And then they would be frozen and they would be eaten during the rest of the year. And George, I think George was still there when we moved to Idaho, and I think my dad just gave all the chickens to the neighbor, so who knows what happened to them. Jim Whitman, $10 for a flock. No, that is $10 for one chick. Because the egg prices are high, prices for chicks has gone sky high. Baz, yep. Nieces, have you chickens? Yeah, the poor chicken. I don't know if I could do it either unless I was in the wilderness and I had to kill it because I don't like killing anyway. Fishing, I guess I've killed fish, but I don't like the taste of fish, so I don't really fish. I haven't fished since I was a little kid. And then we were taught to take this little wooden bat and beat them to death, which that's just cruel. Maybe try to incubate a couple. Joe, I do not get eggs from a farm. I get them from the grocery store. So they have already been chilled to the point where they're no longer, even if they're fertilized, they're not going to turn into chickens. I would have to actually get them from a farmer, like at a farmer's market, and have them ensure to me that they had not been chilled. And even if you get eggs from a farm, that doesn't mean that they're fertilized unless they have a rooster who's actively boinking all the chickens. You're going to get a lot of eggs that have nothing in them. Growing up, there were times when we would break an egg because you would grab the eggs from the nest and bring them in usually every day. But sometimes you miss a day or two, and they would sit not necessarily in a refrigerator, but in something on the table. And when you crack them open to fry them, there would be a semi-formed chick inside. I know in some countries that's a delicacy. My family said, "Oh, that's gross," and we gave it to the dog or the cat or whoever was around. Jim, that is a dad joke that you need to market. Killing things, yeah. I don't know. I see animals as pets and friends. Even the crows, I feed the crows, and the crows know me. When I even walk in front of my kitchen windows, the crows fly from great distances and they sit in the tree outside of my kitchen window or on the power line and caw at me, waiting for me and saying, "Come feed me, feed me, feed me." And I couldn't kill them. I know when I was like a fifth or sixth grader, I stayed overnight at someone's house and he had a BB gun. And he wanted to go, "Let's go shooting." And he shot a bird and it clipped its wing. And then he got really upset about it. So we tried to save it with Bactine and wrapping it up and keeping it warm. It died. And that made me feel really bad because the bird had done nothing wrong and there was no reason to kill it. But, he has a rifle and he wants to shoot things. Oh, Jim. Talk is chill. I'm guessing you mean cheap. Yes, there it is. Cheap. Cheap. I get it. That's a chicken joke. I got it. Cranky old crows. I don't think they're cranky. I think they're pretty smart and they're pretty wise and they put up a lot of crap in my neighborhood. Crows, I'm told, mate for life. So when one dies or gets killed, that other bird is going to be alone for quite some time. I don't know how long they live, but I know it's more than a year. And I know that they also feed as families. You'll get a couple crows out and then their little crows with them. Once those little crows get big enough, they go off and mate with, get their own partners, and then they all come back. But as adults, crows will fight over food. They attack each other and chase each other off. They come in twos, and the couple is always working together and or against everyone else. I also have in my neighborhood there is a seagull issue where seagulls, oh my gosh, when there's a storm at the coast, it's 90 miles from here, they will fly in and be everywhere, just crapping all over the place. So you have to be careful when you're walking the dog. If there's any lines above you and there's seagulls in town, you're going to get crapped on. They gobble up everything. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's thrown out on the ground or it suddenly appears somewhere out a car window, whatever, the seagull is on it. It doesn't matter if it's edible or not, that seagull will eat it. So they're pigs. If I go out to feed the crows, I look around first to see if there's any seagulls circling or sitting on the neighbor's roof. Because if they are, then I won't just throw the food out. I will wait until the crows are actually there. And seagulls are not scared of crows. They're twice the size of a crow. One seagull can come in and just bust up a whole group of crows and start gobbling everything. Oh. Baz, I'm guessing that you are a vegetarian then? How's that going? Jackson, that's a good point. If I was starving, yeah, I could probably do that. Pescatarian, man, Baz, I couldn't do that. I just do not like fish. I can eat tuna from a can if it's cold or room temperature. I can't eat tuna when it's been heated up. It's just too fishy. I don't like the smell of it. When it comes to fish itself, even if it's like tuna or mahi, the texture of fish, it's so crumbly, it's like it's been pre-chewed, and that grosses me out as well. And fish, I find, even if it's prepared correctly, like a baked salmon or something, it doesn't have a lot of flavor. And it's kind of pointless for me to eat it. I feel the same about crab. When I eat the white meat of a crab, and I don't do it often, but sometimes someone's serving and it's like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Unless you drown it in butter or some kind of herb spice, it just tastes like egg whites. And that is a big expense to get crab and then have it just taste like egg whites or tofu. I mean, it tastes like bland tofu. There's really no flavor to crab at all for me. Oysters, there's definitely flavor, and it's a nasty, gross flavor. I can't eat those either. That's like slimy. It would be like eating raw slugs. Could I eat a baked slug? Probably not. I could eat a baked snail because there's so little meat on them. That would be fine. And speaking of that, and then we're going to wind this up because it's getting long. Thin tuna is so different from fresh. A fresh fried tuna steak is brilliant. You know, Joe, I had a bite of tuna at a dinner last week. I tried it before they served it to me, and I found that it had zero flavor. I mean, zero. It was cut to the point there was skin on one side and then all the meat, and it was really, really crumbly. I didn't like the texture. It didn't have much of a smell, but the flavor there was just nothing there for me. So yeah, that's not working. Blue crabs, I've never had a blue crab. And Randy, again, other than tuna from a can, and the reason is because I was raised that way. And tuna is really easy as far as it's a quick way to make a sandwich and be done with it. What was I going to say here? Well, I'm going to say, I went to the Asian market and I got some cow feet and chicken feet, which are in a crock pot right now, rendering, because I don't eat them. I take the collagen off and I put that in coffee. And I also give, after I do it and I fill up my jars, I take the remaining animal parts that have all kind of turned into gooey, goopy, bone-filled mass. Put it back in the crock pot, add water, let it do its thing for another couple days on heat. And then I strain it all out, just like I did the first time. And that second batch goes in jars with my dog's name on them. And then I put a tablespoon in the dry dog food and mix it up because she eats it and loves it. And she's also getting collagen that way to help out her joints. And on that note, I'm going to let you all go. Thank you all for joining me. It's been real. And if you got something you'd like me to try to cover on a future episode, please drop a comment or send me an email at crankyoldgayguy@gmail.com. And this has gone over 50 minutes. Can you believe that? Thank you all for spending your Saturday, or in Baz's case, Sunday, with me. And I will see you all on my Sunday, which is tomorrow. Bye-bye. I'm going to hang up, but I probably won't hang up because it asks me a dozen questions before it lets me actually disconnect. Ciao for meow. That almost sounded like a cat joke. Ciao meow. See you, Jim. See you, Randy. See you, Baz. See you, Jackson. See you, Tanner. See you, Joshy. Let me go down the list here. Where are they? Joe, thanks for coming over from England. Giorgio, welcome from Italy. Baz is on Australia. I don't know where Tanner is. Randy, Joshy, again and again and again and again. And the list goes on and on. So from Portland, Oregon, and it still hasn't started raining. It's been not raining for 4 hours now, which is a record. I might actually go outside. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.